One final thing we need to talk about is annotating the exploded view so that we know which parts are which. So I'm going to kind of zoom in on this, and we're going to add some balloons that show what item it is and what it looks like on here. So I'm just going to go kind of around this way and put balloons on everything that is exploded. Okay. So what we do is choose balloon and zoom in on the part that you want to add the balloon to. Wherever you click is going to be where the arrow attaches. So right here I want to attach this. So I left click one time, left click a second time to place the number, the little balloon, and then right click and continue. So that's going to put a label there for part number 4. And you just work your way around like this. So here's the train body. Clicking, and be sure and hit right click and continue when you've got it. And one other thing I want to show you on this, let me do a couple of more of these. So right here we have a part. I want to show a balloon here. Right click and continue. I'm going to click on the outside of this peg. Go out here, left click, and then right click to continue. So we're just going to go all the way around like that. Another thing that kind of clutters this image up, you see how we've got these little lines everywhere? We're going to double click on this view. I'll press escape, double click on the view, and over here where it says display options, no, comments. Comments. Components show trails, we're going to turn that off. Click OK. And what that does is it takes out the lines to give us a cleaner drawing. So in this case, you need to go around and make sure everything is labeled, not overlapping anything. You'll have all 9 parts identified. You don't have to do every one of the, like for instance, the wheels. There are 4 of those. You only need to do 1 of them because we can see that if we see this one, we know what they all look like. And when you look at this, they should be kind of evenly spaced around here. You shouldn't have like one of these like way over here. Don't have like this one like drug way over here. They all kind of need to be in the same space. Avoid overlapping and jumping across the drawing like that. Keep them where the arrow goes straight to the part, and there's nothing in between that and the balloon. So if you don't have spacing between these parts, you won't be able to do that very nicely. So that's adding the balloon annotation to your exploded view. One more thing will be to add text that applies to the drawing to bring out details about how the parts are constructed. So to add text to this, you're going to choose the text option in annotate, and then you draw your box where you want it, and then it's going to give you this weird little screen, and you can put your note in there. So for instance, we have a note that says all holes are drilled with point angles, and let's look at some of the controls on this. If we click OK, we can see that that's pretty small, and I'm going to escape from that. Now if I double click on that, I can open it and edit that. This is a little different than most text editors because you're actually setting these sizes in inches. So you have some common sizes here. Let's say if we wanted to make this 0.1 instead of 0.12, you would change that right there. Keep in mind you have to have all of this selected in order for it to work. Don't change it from Tahoma. That is a Gothic font, and that's what we want to use. So I'm going to just change this for the sake of demonstration to a 0.1 inch font or 0.1 inch size, and then we put that in there. So now we've got some annotation on here talking about the holes and how they're to be drilled. After further consideration on page 6 of the 2 pegs here, and you may have to do this to the other pegs, let's go ahead and add a bottom view. So we're going to do place views. We're going to do projected from the bottom, and that's going to let us go ahead and get the diameters from the bottom and the radiuses from the bottom. And let's do the same thing for this little guy too. Projected from this to the bottom, and create those views, and that's going to let us get, because this one has, if you depending on which video you watched, it may have a taper on it. So we're seeing the bottom, and then we're seeing the chamfer, and then we see that it tapers toward the top. It depends again on how this was constructed in the videos that you watched. So that gives us a place to get those. We'll go ahead and do that on the hitch peg as well. So we'll choose the view, do projected, go down here and create that. So now we've got the top, the side, and the bottom view, and that's going to let you go in and give good dimensions on all of this. So that's the final change. So this has been an overview of some of the special things you'll have to do to the drawing as you go through and complete it.